guys, yes, today I'm going to show you all of the books that I own. Yeah, all of them. Alright, let's go. I'm going to be holding the camera for this entire thing, so I'm sorry if it's a bit shaky. So here's one of my shelves. It's a CD rack, basically, that I've repurposed as a bookshelf, and it spins around. And I can only fit my smaller paperbacks on here. So, here we go. First line. Let's begin with Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency by Douglas Adams. That is a really funny book, and I absolutely adore Douglas Adams' writing. Then we've got Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Really cool edition of that. Then The Curse of the Fenric, Doctor Who, a Target novel. Arthur C. Clarke's 2001 A Space Odyssey. I've not read this yet. I've seen the film though, and it's freaking gorgeous. So yeah, reading it should be fun. As long as it's good. It should be good. It's Arthur C. Clarke. He's a classic science fiction writer. The Slaughter by Stephen Cole. Another Doctor Who book that I've not read, but have bought several years ago. Heroes by Robert Cormier, which is a book that I studied in GCSE English. George's Marvellous Medicine by Roald Dahl, because I think I got that for free with like cereal, but I love Roald Dahl, he's fantastic. The Tomb of the Cybermen by Jerry Davis, another Target novel. Crank by Ellen Hopkins, which I believe is a poetry book, which is interesting. Still yet to read that, but yeah, I hope to read it whenever, soon. To Kill a Mockingbird, by Harper Lee. This is horrible waterlogged copy because something spilled on it, but this is the copy that I used for GCSE, and I really liked this book. The Misanthrope and Other Plays by Molière. Those are plays by Molière. I performed an excerpt from The Imaginary Invalid, which is a Molière play, for my GCSE drama, so I got that. Animal Farm by George Orwell. It is an absolute classic. I adore Animal Farm. It's a really good book about communism, essentially. 1984 by George Orwell. I've read parts of this, but I don't want to read the rest of it, I don't think, because I'm studying it next year in English literature, and I don't entirely want to ruin it, maybe. I don't know. I might read it before. I don't know. A Midsummer Night's Dream, as part of my recent haul. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I read this a few years ago and I really enjoyed it. I've yet to read The Lord of the Rings, however. Down here we have some bookmarks. Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse 5. I read this last year and I utterly adored it. Utterly adored it. It is in my top 5 favourite books. I should probably actually show you this book that's on top as well, which is Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. It's a sci-fi book that's been recommended to me, but I've yet to read. What else do I have down here? My 1946 Penguin edition of The Time Machine and Other Stories by H.G. Wells. Time Machine is a really cool, awesome story, and it's really cool to have such an old edition of it. I Bleaith Hylabora by Eirig Gwyn. Surprised I haven't burnt that. I studied that for GCSE Welsh literature, and it is god awful, and if you can avoid reading it, please do. It's in Welsh, so most of you will never have the displeasure of reading it. And Doctor Who, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, another Target novel. Then, up here, I'm going to show you this, is an Arc of Nightly and... oh my... look at that, they all just fell off. Oh god. Nightly and Sun by Rohan Gavin. This is an arc sent to me for review. It came out in January and I have yet to review it. I've read some of it. I'm awful, I know. Then I have The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy trilogy in 5 parts, in 5 volumes, because that's how they were published. Then I have Pierre Boulle's Planet of the Apes, which I was not aware was a book until I saw this online, and I thought, oh, I'm going to buy this. So I did. It was originally written in French, and this is a translation. Who did the translation? Zan Fielding. Well done. Here I have 100 video games to play before you die, not particularly interesting. Here I have John Boyne's Stay Where You Are and Then Leave, which I have reviewed on my channel, and this is the Ark. The actual cover does not look like this. The actual cover is much prettier, but it's by the same guy who wrote Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, and it's a good book for kids, and it's great. Here we have Bill Bryson, 2 Bill Bryson novels, the first 2. This is the first one I read, which was The Lost Continent, Travels in Small Town America. This book is really funny. I read it on holiday, and I'm glad I picked it up in the W.H. Smith in the airport before going, because, yeah, a really fun book. And then I also have... oh my god, just come out. I packed my bookshelves too tightly. Too tightly. Bill Bryson's Neither Here or There, Travels in Europe, which is also really good. Then I have The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I have read this book and I really like it, and the film is okay too. This is a book that I haven't read in its entirety. This is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, an uncorrected proof. Yes, I have an arc of The Hunger Games. I picked this up at the book market on the South Bank. But look at that. That was apparently the original cover for The Hunger Games. Doesn't that look awful? And I would never pick up that book if I saw it with that cover. It's amazing how it ever got so popular. Covers are really important, I assure you. Right, I need to clear away these bookmarks. So many bookmarks. And another thing by Owen Colfer, a 6th part of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy trilogy, written by Owen Colfer. I've not read this, but apparently it's okay, but it's not quite as good as Douglas Adams, which you'd expect because it's not Douglas Adams. Next we have Vivian vs. the Apocalypse by Katie Coyle, which is a really, really good book. And the sequel's coming out soon, and I highly recommend you read this and then get the sequel, which is called Vivian vs. America. If you buy this book in America, I believe it's called Vivian Apple at the End of the World, and you can get it as a hardback. You can't in this edition, which is sad, because I like this edition more. Jasper Ford's Shades of Grey. I've talked about this enough. It's a fantabulous book, and he just needs to publish the sequels like now. Just My Type by Simon Garfield, not Spider-Man. This is a book about fonts, and it's really interesting. And there's a whole chapter in this about Comic Sans, which I think is really cool. Then I have some John Green. I have the UK paperback of Looking for Alaska, which is a hideous cover. I have the paperback of Paper Towns, which I really like. I like that cover. And then I have the paperback of The Fault in Our Stars. I read it as a hardback, but I got this when I went to see John and Hank perform in Swindon, and it is signed and addressed to me and Hankerfished. So that's why I have that. Next is All My Friends Are Superheroes by Andrew Kaufman. I've done a review of this. I really enjoyed this book. It's a nice feel-good book. It's really short, easy to read, and yeah, if I'm ever feeling sad, I'll probably go back to this and read this, because it's just a happy little romance, and it's great. William Golding's Lord of the Flies. This is a book that I've not read, but I've heard about extensively, and yes, I'm looking forward to reading it. It's about boys, posh boys, that get stranded on an island and everything goes to pot. Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. I believe that might have been the first book review I did on this channel, and there it is, Warm Bodies. I really enjoyed Warm Bodies, actually. I thought it was a good book. And then I've got 50 Shames of Earl Grey, which I have not read. I have not read this book, but it seems quite funny. It's a parody of 50 Shades of Grey, if you couldn't gather that. And then I've also got Todd McEwen's How Not to Be America, Misadventures in the Land of the Free, which I just like the cover of, so I bought it. Around the other side, we have, oh, this one's packed tighter, The Bling Ring by Nancy Jo Sales, which is non-fiction, I believe, and apparently it's awful, so I'm glad I bought that really cheap. I also have Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is a Harry Potter book, and I also have Harry Potter a'r Maen yr Arthonydd, which is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in Welsh. Then I have the second and the third and the fifth Harry Potter book there in paperback. And then I've got The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King, which none of these I've read yet. Then we have The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, which is a present for me from my friend Sarah. Thank you very much for that. Not read it yet, sorry. And I've got Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. I've expressed my opinion about this book. I'm not sure if I like it or not. It's okay, but yeah, it was kind of bad in some ways, many ways. Not always, but many ways. Then next I have a classic, which is The Stepford Wives by Ira Levin, with an introduction by Chuck Palahniuk. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. He wrote Fight Club, I think. Yeah, he wrote Fight Club, right? Then I've got The Room by Emma Donoghue, which is about a kid who's lived in a room for all his life, I think, and yeah, seems really fun. Well, not fun. I've got In Bloom by Matthew Crowe. I've done a review of this. This book made me cry. And then this book, William Shakespeare's Star Wars by Ian Dosha, made me cry with laughter because it's absolutely hilarious. And I really need to read the sequels for that. Then I've got Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which is the heaviest paperback I own because of all the ink in there from all the pictures. Yeah, this is a fun little book. I bought this one in America, though it's not as floppy as I'd like it to be, I think because of all the ink in it. Another book I bought in America is Pride, Prejudice and Zombies by Seth Grahame Smith. It's just Pride and Prejudice with the addition of zombies, which improves it vastly. No, I really enjoy Pride and Prejudice. Then we've got Countdown City, which is the second book in the Last Policeman series, which was sent to me by QuickBooks. I'm currently reading the first in the Last Policeman series and really enjoying it. The Rotters Club by Jonathan Coe, The Dwarves of Death by Jonathan Coe, and The Accidental Woman by Jonathan Coe. Then I have Thomas Hardy books, From the Madding Crowd, A Pair of Blue Eyes, and Tess of the Dubervilles. Then down here on the bottom row we have Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca, which I've read excerpts of in class and really seems interesting. I have two P.G. Wodehouse Blandings books, which is Summer Lightning and Something Fresh. And I have this beautiful edition of Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. It's published by Vintage, and yeah, that's a really pretty cover of that. Then I have the World Book Night edition of The Time Traveller's Wife, which was given to me by Sarah over at Clumsiness is a Curse. Then I've got Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides, and yeah, I've heard good things about Jeffrey Eugenides, so I want to read this, and this is a really pretty book. And the Jeffrey Eugenides is written in the same way that Green Day is written on all of their new albums, on their 3 new albums. I'm not biased. Then we have Liff of P by Jan Martel. I've never read this. I haven't seen the film either, but I hear the book is good. The film apparently not so much. Then John Wyndham's Day of the Triffids in this Penguin Modern Classics edition. That's really pretty. I believe it's about a mean green mother from outer space. Or is that Little Shop of Horrors? I think it's about plants that want to eat people, which is Little Shop of Horrors, I guess. Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut, and Train Spotting by Irvine Welsh. Now that we're done with this little stack of books here, we move on to my hardbacks and other paperbacks that I couldn't fit on there. In descending order, since these are stacked, I'm not going to get them all out. Okay, I have The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul by Douglas Adams. This is a first edition, I believe. I also have a first edition of Douglas Adams' Mostly Harmless. Then I have Shada by Douglas Adams as well. You'll notice these ones are in a better order. Then I have Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace by Terry Brooks. Bill Bryson's Notes from a Big Country. Bill Bryson's Walkabout. Bill Bryson's A Short History of Nearly Everything. And Bill Bryson's One Summer in 1927. Then next to that, I have So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, which I think is the first edition as well. Me, Earl and the Dying Girl. Margaret Atwood's A Handmaid's Tale. And Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Gosh, I have to lean back quite far to show you that. The Importance of Being Earnest by Ernest Cline. And Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Free Agent by Jeremy Duns. Jeffrey Eugenides' The Marriage Plot. Neil Gaiman's Anansi Boys. The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. Chris Hadfield's Astronaut Guides to Life on Earth. Hannibal by Thomas Harris. Hannibal Rising by Thomas Harris. And What Was Promised by Tobias Hill. Then I've got When Mr. Dog Bites by Brian Conahan. Then I review this, and it's a really cool book, actually. I really enjoyed reading that one. I've got Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragons by Thomas Harris in one volume. And then I've got the new selected poems of Seamus Heaney, which I studied for AS level English, and I really like his poetry. It's really good. I highly recommend you check it out. Then I have another present from my friend Sarah. This is Submarine by Joe Dunthorne, and it's a really, 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 really pretty book. Then I've got Neil Gaiman's The Ocean at the End of the Lane, which I enjoyed. I've got a hardback edition of Looking for Alaska and a hardback edition of Paper Towns. For the record, it's Happy Margot. Then I've got my first edition signed John Green's Fault in Our Stars, and I've got the Barnes & Noble Special Edition Fault in Our Stars, which I bought in America. I got Three Men in a Boat by Jerome K. Jerome, a really nice cloth-bound edition of One Day by David Nichols, More Than This by Patrick Ness, and Carrie and the Tommyknockers by Stephen King. Then here I've got Tales of Beetle the Bard, Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, business cards, P.D. James's Death Comes to Pemberley, which was my partner text for Pride and Prejudice, Joe Scriber's Au revoir, Crazy European Chick, which I picked up purely for that title, Resistance by Owen Shears, was on my list of people I could base my my creative on, and Owen Shears was also our partner poet for Seamus Heaney, and I've read parts of the first chapter of this and it sounds really cool. Then here I've got a lot of the stuff from my newest haul. Thursday Next Chronicles, You by Austin Grossman, We Were Liars. Here's the paperback for Goblet of Fire. The paperback for Deathly Hallows, this is the adult themed one. Armageddon in Retrospect by Kurt Vonnegut. The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. Picture of Dorian Gray, Importance of Being Earnest. The Last Policeman by Ben H. Winters, which I'm currently reading, and The Host by Stephanie Meyer. Then, at the back here, it's a bit dark, so I'll get them out. 1,339 facts to make your jaw drop from the QI Elves, who have a great podcast. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, and this is in a really old edition as well. The Indiana Jones Handbook, A Simple's Life by Alexander Orlov. I have no explanation of why I own that book. The hardback copy of Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. New hardback copy of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. This one's first edition as well, I think. Oh, so is Order of the Phoenix, in fact. Yes, again, first edition of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows hardback. Shatner Rules by William Shatner. I saw this in a pound shop and thought, yeah, why not? It's William Shatner. A Man Without a Country by Kurt Vonnegut. I have read this and I really enjoyed it. It's a nice sort of like memoir type thing. And yeah, I highly recommend you read this. It's a really short read. And it's just nice. It's Kurt Vonnegut being really funny. And Age of Miracles by Karen Thompson Walker. And then in here, I've also got The Long Earth by Terry Pratchett and Stephen Baxter. Posthumous Book 1 by David S. E. Zapanta. Road Dogs by Elmore Leonard. And Little Failure by Gary Steingart, which was sent to me for review. It's a memoir. I don't know why you want to review a memoir, but people do review memoirs. So, yeah, okay. Anyway, that was it. That's all the books that I have. All the books I had access to. I'm sorry that this was rubbish and framed badly, but my hand really starting to hurt now. So I'm going to say goodbye to you and have fun in all of your endeavours in the future. I love you.